Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragon Girl. We're on chapter 5 today. Let's get started. Chapter 5. I woke up automatically the next morning. The morning of my first day of fire training. As I remembered, I bolted upright, ready to start the lesson. Halter and Dimitri's beds were empty and I ran outside, knowing that if I was late, they would be upset. Record time, Samantha, Hutzer stated, looking up at me from a scroll. Good morning, Master Hutzer. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Dimitri asked. Yes, sir, I did. I slept soundly without a single dream. Good. You're going to need that sleep. Please, Hutzer ordered, and I didn't hesitate a second. Now, I want you to picture your throat. Do you see your vocal cords, breathing cord, eating cord, and surrounding tissue? He said, and I closed my eyes, trying to picture it. I nodded, and Dimitri took over. There are also a few nodes there. They're settled between your vocal and breathing cords. One's glowing red, the very middle. Can you see it? Yes, I replied, my eyes still closed. I zoomed in on the red node. Now, I want you to picture the lid opening. You'll feel the click. I did so, and felt it. Then I almost lost my head with excitement. This is your fire chakra. It is what contains your fire. When you are not using it. Now that it is opened, take a deep breath and let it out with a silent roar. I did so, burying my teeth for that effect, and roared. A tube of emerald green fire escaped from my jaws. Now, hold it as long as you can. A good 5 minutes passed before I was forced to close the hatch, and my fire ceased. Hutzer started clapping, smiling, and cheering, and Dimitri smiled, and his eyes told of his approval. Well done, Samantha. Well done. That was spectacular. Yes. Well done. Well done indeed. Thank you, Master Dimitri. Again, forgot the quotation marks there. Now, let's do it again. Try to hold it even longer. For 3 hours, I breathed fire. Then, I was given a break with ground fighting. Following 3 rounds of that, air fighting. Dimitri and Hutzer had me transitioning from ground fighting to air fighting, and then vice versa until the sun began to set. We did more fire practice until it was almost midnight. Dimitri and I went hunting and returned. I fell asleep as soon as my head touched my pillow. Another few months passed, and summer arrived. I could now hold my fire for an hour, and I continued to beat Dimitri in all of my classes. However, due to the heat, my studies would soon close, much like a human school would close for the summer. With nothing to occupy my day, I wandered north, always with Dimitri by my side. At first, both of us had argued with Hutzer that Dimitri had to stay with Hutzer and help, but Hutzer refused and reminded us that he had lived alone for 100 years and he could manage on his own for a few hours each day. So Dimitri flew with me to protect me should we meet any silo. 3 uneventful weeks passed and I was starting to get bored. I visited the same places every day with Dimitri and nothing had happened to spice my day up. That was when Dimitri suggested a road trip of sorts. Hutzer was well capable of caring for himself, and he could see that I was getting less and less active. I said we'd be gone for a few months. We could see all of Mystia in that time, and it would get me active again. I liked that idea. I haven't been at Hutzer's territory since he and Dimitri became my mentors. I needed to see the rest of Mystia, and it would get my mind off Derek. We settled the next morning, and Hutzer gave us some herbs from his garden. Healing herbs as well as marigold, which would strengthen my fire. We set out, moving a Hutzer with our paws. That is an adorable thing to imagine. For a picture. I had to turn and face straight ahead or risk flying into something. We kept along the coast, often flying over the water when the clouds could not protect us from the human's eyes. Wouldn't it be best to protect? Wouldn't protect us from from humans, human eyes be better? Dimitri and I talked, sharing stories of our childhoods and dreams. I had wanted to live all by myself and provide for only me, like my ancestors did before colonizing. Now, I want to be the best draconian I can be so I can prove to Derek, wherever he is, that he can be proud of me. I'm going to kill every salad that comes my way, continue my training, and show my parents that I can do something worthwhile. Water break. Ugh. Keep yourself hydrated, kids. Dimitri, his only dream was to be equal to Derek in their mother's eyes. Derek was the one who gained their parents' love, got the best scores, the best mentor, the best girlfriends, and the more advanced lessons long before the other children. Derek had seemed like a god, and Dimitri was not even the peasant serving that god. Dimitri got the worst of everything. First off, he got the worst place to sleep, the worst food, the worst girls. He had to share mentors with one of Derek's friends' younger brothers. The easiest lessons long after he should have graduated. He got none of his parents' love, no matter how hard he tried. He never congratulated him when he didn't freak over a test, or come to see one of his matches, or help him study. I was always doting on Derek, the prodigy of the family. It made Dimitri bitter toward Derek, and starting when he was my age, motivated him to do the best he could. But his parents didn't care enough to notice when his Fs went to A's almost overnight, or his sudden increase in won matches, or how many friends he suddenly gained. His parents noticed none of it, but Derek sure did. They became rivals of the worst degree. Derek thought Dimitri was trying to steal his glory, but Dimitri didn't get the chance to correct him. They fought numerous times, and whenever the mentors pitted them against each other, it was no friendly competition. Sparks were flying, fire was being thrown everywhere they went. Both grew bitter due to the constant fighting, which carried on past graduation. Wishing to be alone, Dimitri flew off and occupied his current territory while Dimitri... Why Dimitri twice? While Dimitri, wouldn't it be... Look, I think we all are saying that mistake. So, moving on. While Dimitri went on to hold a place on the Draconian High Council, that would be Derek. His parents never ceased doting on him, or dotting on him. In fact, they were among the first to die in a silent raid, trying to protect Dimitri, but they were no match for a fully grown and angry Scylla. And since that day, Dimitri never heard a word about Derek, nor the fate of the world outside of his territory. For him, he was better off alone, with no competition, and no one to worry about except himself. On the end of his speech, I felt really bad for him. He had suffered so much trying to correct nature so he could be a normal Draconian kid. Well, that must definitely explain his first reaction at seeing me on that first day. Being alone for so long, then suddenly finding a young Draconian territory. But it still didn't add up. Derek seemed kind and hospitable, not bitter and unwelcoming and selfish like Dimitri paints him to be. It changed my views for Derek, and I knew that if I ever saw him again, I'd have to reserve judgment. Gosh, Dimitri, I'm so sorry. Must have been terrible. It couldn't be helped. I was just unfortunate enough to get the short end of the stick. I've achieved my dream because of you. But look at you now! But look at you now! You have taught me so much. If you'd taken off that first morning at Hatsus, I would not be able to fight or breathe fire at all. I might as well have been as useful as an airplane for humans with as much as I could do back then. Now, my whole future is right there in front of me. And it's all because of you. You had a better childhood. You had proper education and the tools to achieve your goals in life. No, I had a worse childhood. My parents rejected me as soon as I showed them that I could face. My boyfriends, whom all thought they loved me, also rejected me. They spit at me when passing me in the hallways, cussing me and my family. I never knew the values of friendship. I didn't even know there were any more like me out there until I met you, Derek, and Hutzer. I had no meaning in life, except I was never meant to have a relationship. You had girlfriends and friends and a loving brother, up until everything went wrong. But still, you had so much that I yearned for. You know, the problem here is that I can't tell who's Samantha and who's Dimitri. He sighed, and we were silent, chasing the water currents up and out of Mystia. This is Hydroxy, our northern neighbor. The climate only gets colder from here, especially near the ocean. We should fly farther inland and settle for the night soon. The wildlife here is very unlike that in Mystia. There are these giant dogs in pure white fur with golden eyes and white noses. They're similar to our wolves, but bigger and have more fur. Humans didn't populate this country because of the temperature. Instead, only Draconians live here. Well, and Scylla, but I doubt we'll see any of them. So why can't we live here, but humans can't? I asked. Because we run a high temperature of 187 degrees Fahrenheit, which keeps us warm enough to fend off this cold. Humans, even with the wolf's pelts, will not be able to survive. They learned that many eons ago and moved south into Mystia. So there are other Draconians here? Well, our two species are relatives. Well, our two species are relatives. Came a new voice. I screamed and zipped up into the air and did an airborne somersault landing treatment. Now it airborne somersault landing behind Dimitri, who spun around and snarled, opening his jaw ready to use fire. After I recovered, I did the same. The newcomer was very large, larger than Dimitri, and red. He was approaching us, and Dimitri kept tensing up, preparing for a fight. The female started laughing, and I growled, not happy with how he took my reaction. Being surprised. Rest easy, little one. I mean no harm, he said, now in front of us. He dropped his legs and floated. And who are you? Name's Jess. New, sir. I'm Dimitri, and this is my apprentice, Samantha. Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet y'all. I was actually about to explain to her the similarities of our species. Perhaps you could help? Dimitri asked and just smiled. I'd be delighted to. You see, we're descended from a common ancestor, but when our two groups went different ways, we evolved separately. My kind grew taller, ran higher temperatures, and grew thicker scales to retain body heat. While your species went south, unable to handle the cold. So, two species are climatically isolated? I summed up the small lecture with little difficulty. Yes. And I'm surprised you knew that term. Jess clocked in, shocked. I was put in advanced biology when I was a freshman. Freshman? What's that? Hi. Freshman? What's that? Dmitri asked. Ninth grade, first year of high school. Ninth grade? High school? Again? Dmitri. Oh, Dmitri. Aye. I'll fill you in later. Yes, later. Now, the sun is setting and the temperature's dropping. Please, come with me. We're going back in my cave tonight. Just got in, more hurried now than he was before. Thank you, Jazz. We'd be happy to accept, Dmitri said. Great. Come with me. Jazz led us inland a few miles and touched down in a large cave. Dmitri and I followed, and Jazz walked over to a wall. You might want to face. My family and I sleep just beyond this crack. Then Jazz to face, leaving Dmitri and I thinking, family? I'm sorry if I come off as forced, but I swear it's not forced. Okay, maybe it's forced. Dmitri shrugged his shoulders and DeFace once Jazz had disappeared through that crack. Soon, Dmitri is out of my sight. I hesitated, scared, but I stepped out of it when I heard a distant roar. I defaced hurriedly and crawled through the small opening. We can face back now. It's best because we'll freeze to death if we don't, came Dmitri's voice from the pitch blackness. I faced, and a cacophony of voices penetrated my thoughts. This was one large family. Yes, it is. My mate and I had 13 children in the cave and 15 already on their own. Wow! And I thought 3 was a lot. That's a lot of children, in my personal opinion. For humans, 3 is plenty. For us, we can never have enough. You must be Samantha. Welcome. I'm Saracen, Jazz's maid. It's been far too long since we had visitors. Please, what is going on, Mistia? A female voice crept in, a voice soft, warm, and motherly. Well, all I know is that Dmitri and I might be the last of the Mistia Draconians. There was a terrible battle 100 years ago, and not very many, if any, Draconians made it out. I could be the last female. Oh my, how horrible! A battle? With whom? An enemy race. Scylla. Cersei and the rest of the family gasped. The Scylla? How many were there? I don't know. I wasn't there. I only know of the aftermath, and that since the Scylla have been sleeping. How unfortunate. A whole species wiped out in one battle. How did she escape? Actually, I wasn't born yet. But you must have a mother. How did she escape? Actually, my whole family are humans. I find that hard to believe, my dear. A Draconian can't successfully mate with a human. It's just not possible. So you must be a full-blooded Draconian. Well, I wouldn't know because I was raised around humans and humans alone. I only discovered another Draconian 8 months ago. And how old are you now? 17. 18 in July. My, aren't you young? My youngest are only 80. 80? Yes, it is normal for children to leave the cave at 200, shortly after graduation. Dmitri cut in. Oh, then we must have pretty long lives. Assuming one is not killed by a Scylla, one can live for eternity, because we cannot become sick, nothing lesser than us can hurt us, and only Scylla can deal damage. These make for long lives, and, as an added bonus, we stop aging past 18, which will keep us young and fit as long as we stay active. Dmitri answered my question without a single pause. All 17 of us talked until I fell asleep, warm with the heat of 17 combined bodies in such a small place. By small, I mean nowhere to move. It was so cramped. I slept and dreamed of Derek's smile, telling me how well I'd done in my studies and that he was proud of me. Uh, I'm sorry if there was any delays in loading the pages. I don't know what's up with my computer. Usually it's snappier, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Anyway, chapter 6 will be out tomorrow. Assuming I don't forget to like narrate it or forget to narrate like chapter 6. Anyways, thanks for watching, reading along with me, and listening. Have a nice day.